So this is Chesthetica's Book of Chess Constructs Volume 2. The Kindle edition is available, but for some reason it's not available in Malaysia. So I can only show you the PDF version that I have, which should be similar. So this Volume 2 was published this year, 2018. Volume 1 was published last year, 2017. The Volume 1 had 50 original chess problems by Chesthetica, the computer program I developed. And this one has got 60, so it's a little more. So we start off with a foreword by the woman grandmaster Jana Krivec. Then we also have the introduction, like the first volume of the book. And the chapters, just like the first volume, are separated based on the chronology in which they were composed by Chesthetica. But in this Volume 2, I have added some additional explanations. Also at the bottom here, you can see what type of compositions are included in the chapter. So for example, we have got King, Queen, Rook, Knight, Pawn versus King, Bishop, Knight, Pawn. That would be composition number 00214. And we also have, for example, King, Rook, Bishop, Pawn versus King, Queen, Rook, which is composition 00238. So the same format as the Volume 1. You can see the composition details at the top there. Which version of Chesthetica, of course the location, the date and even the time at which it was composed. And then at the bottom we have a link to the online solution, which is a YouTube video I created explaining the chess problem. So if you click it, it will open up in YouTube. Let's see if it works here. Yes, we are.
Chesthetica. In this position, you can see that white is significantly ahead in material, and black has a knight on d8 in a position to be captured by the pawn on c7.
So that's how it works. So then we have chapter 2. More chess problems. Now again, these are not as challenging as master composer chess problems, but they were never intended to be. If anyone wants to see Chesthetica compose master level compositions, then they probably need to speak to IBM or Google and send a few $1 million my way, along with a team of experienced programmers and chess experts to work with me over a few years, and maybe then we can get Chesthetica to compose those master level compositions, kind of like what IBM did with Deep Blue in order to beat Garry Kasparov back in 1997. But I don't think they would see the point, and neither do I. So these are sufficient basically for educational, entertainment, and even aesthetic value for the vast majority of players who are not master composers or players. And the thing is, Chesthetica can keep doing this endlessly, and is even doing it now. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, new compositions are being generated, and in these volumes I publish the ones that I particularly find interesting and I think would appeal to the widest range of players. So let's take a look at the solution section. Okay, so in this book, the solutions are presented a bit differently from how they were presented in Volume 1. the variations are in brackets, and it may be a bit more difficult to follow, but they are more compact. And of course, there are no links here anymore because I've only provided one link now directly to the explanation video. So the main line is given in bold and the variations are in regular font, so that it's a bit easier for you to follow. And of course, where there's a lot of analysis, then it's broken down even more. Another difference between this volume 2 and the volume 1 is that volume 2 features not only made in 3 problems, but also made in 4, made in 5, and study-like constructs, which are open-ended. That means they don't end in mate, but they end in basically white winning. And of course, the very end of the book is just like that. Volume 2 also comes in paperback, just like Volume 1. And the size is quite large, just like Volume 1, about the size of A4. So we've got a huge chessboard, which is very nice to look at. The paper also is nice to hold and smell. Again, these links at the bottom don't work, but they just serve as a reminder that there's an electronic version available. So if you live in the United States or quite a few other countries, you can get the electronic version, but if you live in Malaysia, not yet. But the paperback can be ordered anywhere in the world. And of course, the paperback is slightly more expensive because there's a bit of a printing cost. But it's very suitable for younger children and older people to look at. And I think even people of other ages would find it quite nice to look at. As they say, bigger is always better. And even the text is nice and clear if you like to read it. The solutions also have nice and big font here in the printed version. And the board is presented there so that you don't have to flip back and forth. So volume 2 contains 60 chess problems, which is a slight increase over volume 1. And there's probably a bit more value than volume 1 here. And volume 2 continues where volume 1 left off. And I also hope to do so with volume 3 and volume 4 and volume 5 in the future. As I mentioned, Chesthetica is literally a chess problem composing machine. Thanks for watching.